Hello and welcome to Sports Weekly. The winter season is winding down and we have some good basketball action for you in this week's Fast Break. It was a battle between the two top-ranked teams in Central Massachusetts when Marlboro took on St. John's. In the first half, it was a back-and-forth affair. Jao Mendez gets to the hoop for Marlboro. Then Chris Doherty, who's back in the lineup after missing a few games, does his thing inside. This time, somehow getting through three defenders. St. John's was showing why they were the top-ranked team, keeping pace with the Panthers. The Panthers trailed by 4 at half. In the second half, the Pioneers took control of the game using their height to their advantage. Just too much. Only Chris Doherty could really play any defense. The Panthers showed good fight as Kevin Short steals this one, gets it ahead to Doherty, who lays it in for two. Big momentum swing here. Steal leads to the dunk. I mentioned that height, and that was the beginning of the end. St. John's started making plays, a nice behind-the-back dribble here, and then started hitting their outside shots, and Marlboro falls by 15, 59-44.
A brief ceremony was held to recognize the seniors as a group, but once the game started, it was all about Nicole Lento. After a shaky first quarter, Lento poured it on, first with a sweet dribble drive to the basket, next by stepping in the passing lane and scoring despite the contact, and then she crosses her defender into next week as she hits nothing but net. Here she shows her toughness as she fights for the rebound and again is able to score with the defender all over her. But she can do more than score, as she proves on this play, as she pokes the ball free and finds her teammates for the easy fast break bucket. In the third quarter, AV puts the game away. Lento again causes a turnover and scores an easy layup. And if you're not going to guard her, she'll gladly knock down the easy look. The Lady Aztecs cruise to a 52-28 victory over Neshoba Valley.
Love was not in the air on Tuesday night as the Midwalk B title was up for grabs as the Marlboro girls team took on Groton Dunstable. The Panthers started off strong. Here's Hallie McCabe getting through defenders, hitting the layup off the crazy angle. Again, she uses the glass, banking it home for a deep three. Maddie Farrell hits the layup on the fast break, but the Crusaders hung around as Jordan Wynn lays it in, and the Panthers go into half with a 4-point lead. Groton Dunstable was unstoppable in the second half. Here, Wynn lefty layup while getting fouled. Chloe McDonald hits a corner three. Rachel Romich takes the second chance opportunity and scores for the Crusaders. Just too much offense for the Panthers to handle as they fall in this one 55-40, and Groton Dunstable goes on to win the Midwalk B division. The girls were back the very next night and they were celebrating their three seniors, Kerry Morris, Victoria Breitenfeld, and Jill Petrie. The first half in this one was all Panthers as Hallie McCabe slices through the D. A little later, the class of 2017 working together, Breitenfeld finds Petrie. McCabe finds a cutting Lucy Capadonna who uses some crazy spin to lay it in. Morris finds Sarah Popachak open for a baseline jumper. More offense as Capadonna finds Petrie in the same spot for the easy jumper. The second half was a different story as the Polar Bears woke up from hibernation and come storming back. Led by point guard Leilani Rodriguez, they cut a 20-point lead to single digits in a matter of minutes. This floater from Rodriguez makes it a 3-point game, but all Jill Petrie has to do is hit one free throw, which she does, sealing the game as Marlboro goes on to win 51-47. The Essedet boys took on Maine South Thursday night. The first half was back and forth as Isaac Knight gets to the hoop for the Aztecs. Then DJ Bass hits a three from deep. Then Marquise Jones, who had a game-high 27 for Maine South, hits a three. He gets to the rim for two more, keeping the game close. Jeff Hunter, who added 16 for Essedet, hits a 15-footer. The Aztecs would lead by 3 points at half. In the second, Knight slips out from the pick and hits a mid-range jumper. Defense to offense as Jerry McManus steals the ball and takes it all the way. He would lead the Aztecs with 17 points. McManus here hits a three, which looked like the dagger, but fouls kept Maine South in this one. A 5-point game, so the Cougars need both free throws. They hit the first one, and now looking for a clutch second one. They hit it, and now a 3-point game with 3 seconds left. On the inbound, The ball is stolen by Maine South, the guy playing free safety. They have a shot to tie the game, but it is short, and Assabet holds on to win this one 67-64. As mentioned in that highlight there, Nicole Lento of Assabet recently registered her 1,000th point, and there are 1,000 reasons why she's this week's Player of the Week. Nicole Lento started her quest to 1,000 points with a camp at Assabet Valley when she was 8 years old.
Probably around the time that I met Ferrer, which was when I was about 8. I came to a camp right here at Assabet Valley, and just the way he ran his camps and all the coaches and all the players that I got to meet, I don't know, it kind of made me fall in love, and I just have been with him ever since. She has a bond with the man running that camp she first went to, head coach Frank Ferrer. Like really special. He's just a figure in my life that I've always looked up to, always went to for anything. He's just someone I can find on and off the court to just look for advice for. Lento didn't know how close she was until Ferrer let her know before February 10th's game against Monty Tech. Probably I realized about halfway through the season, I think, because Ferrer obviously didn't want to tell me oh yeah, you're real close, because he knows me and I'm a head case, so he'd be like, I don't know, it would just get in my own head. But he told me, I'm thinking I had 60 points left. He tells me after that night at the game, he goes, yeah, you have 15. I was like, oh, great. So it was just exciting. I was like, oh wow, it actually is a realization that it's possible. Just as coach and player had predicted, it took a little longer than anticipated to end up scoring the 1,000th point. I was a head case that game. I will not lie, I had 3 points in the first half, but then I came out and scored about 26 in the second, so it was good. I only needed 15, so it was. He laughed at me at halftime because he was like, kid, I tell you now you mess up, but but then I got it, so I was like, I looked at him, I gave him a little wink, and that was it. Nicole hopes to continue playing next season as she heads to college. Hopefully college ball I'm aiming for. It's definitely something that I want to reach for and try out for. She knows all the work that she put in and is proud of what she accomplished, as she or anyone else should be. I feel just good about myself, just knowing that it is such an accomplishment and that I did work as hard as I did to get to the point where I could get and say I got 1,000 points. I don't know, I feel good about it.
The Aztecs girls basketball team will not be in the postseason for the first time in 12 years. Matt Basaccio sat down with head coach Frank Ferrer to talk about the season in this week's Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Tom. We're here with Assabet girls basketball coach Frank Ferrer. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Your girls are coming off a win on Friday night against Monty Tech. What did you like about their performance?
Actually, it was a huge win for us. We had played Monty second game of the year, and we got beaten pretty handily by 15 at their place. And this has been a struggle this year. We've been accustomed to being a winning team. We've made districts 12 consecutive seasons, and that's not the case this year. So we've been improving, but we hadn't seen any results as far as wins. So coming into that Monty game, and not only being a huge game because we knew that Nicole Lento was close to 1,000 points, just the fact that we played really well and the kids played all together, we were able not only for Nicole to get her 1,000 point, but to win against a team that's going to be district bound. So it was a big win for us.
And as you just said, it's been a disappointing season to this point. What do you think's led to that disappointing season?
I knew going in, actually, believe it or not, I had this plan for a few years with Nicole because I knew Nicole was a valuable player, and I'd always hoped that I was going to be able to build a couple players around her. And honestly, it didn't work out. A couple kids who I thought were going to turn out to be more involved in basketball, that didn't happen. I had a couple of kids who are more athletic that decided that they weren't going to play basketball in their senior year. So a combination of different things made it so it really, I had nothing to build around her. And I have, 2 other seniors, one who's been playing for a while. Not exactly what I had hoped where she'd be at this point, but for the most part, everyone else on the team, they're just 3 months a year basketball players, and that's it. They're just not able to play at that level. They try real hard and they work hard, but they just don't have the skills, the dribbling and shooting skills to really make a major effect on this team.
Now, you brought up Nicole Lento. She's averaging about 18 points per game, and like you said, she just reached the 1,000-point mark. Outside of her scoring ability, what is it that you believe she brings to the team, and more importantly, her teammates?
Oh, well, I have to say that the downside on Nicole is that she's not playing with better basketball players. I mean, like I said, kids who try hard but not basketball players. And why I say that is because Nicole is legitimately one of the best guards in Central Massachusetts, and she makes passes to teammates that not only they don't finish, sometimes they don't even catch the ball. She's an all-around guard. I mean, she's exactly what you want in a point guard. Not just the fact that she can score, but she can distribute the basketball very, very well. She gets her teammates much more involved in the game, and it really is. She's averaging 18, but with that said, she would probably get a lot more recognition if she was playing on a team that had, one or two other role players that would really make this team even much beyond where it is.
What type of consideration is she getting from the next level?
Well, I think Nicole is I'm pretty sure she's going to go on to Endicott College. First of all, because it has a great nursing program, and that's what she wants. But I strongly believe that she has the ability to play at Endicott, and I think that's going to be her goal. I think she's going to play at Endicott, and that's the right fit for her. She's not a scholarship player by any means, but she's a solid Division III college basketball player.
For you as a coach going through a difficult season, what do you need to do with your players in order to keep them engaged?
It's somewhat of a challenge, and it's not so much the kids. The kids really, they work hard, but I think it becomes frustrating sometimes when you work so hard at practice and then you get on the court and you're just playing sometimes against teams that are just so much more talented that you sit in the stands, and as a parent you don't recognize the fact that how hard your daughter's working and the other kids are working, and it becomes frustrating because I'm sure when you get home at night, then the parents probably saying, boy, you guys not very good. And so that's really the challenge, is trying to get them so that they come to practice every day and say, you may not have the wins to show, but you're becoming better. You're becoming a better teammate. You're becoming a better basketball player. And the more important results are in place there. You're learning a lot of values of what it takes to be competitive. And I think that's what the challenge is every day, to make the kids feel like, that's what their goal is to really to make them to get beyond their, not just the skill level, but to get them to a more, solid teammate and better values as a person as they grow into the next part of their life.
And you can also take some of those things and help them to develop into better players going forward for next season with your underclassmen, right?
Yeah, the sophomores, we have the majority of our players are sophomores. And the upside is they have 2 more years. The only real downside to all that is that they're very good softball players, and most of them play softball year-round. So if I could get a couple of them that would at least give basketball somewhat of a look in the off-season, then they could be much better, no doubt about it. But that's going to be the key. The key is today, whether you like it or not, unfortunately, it is what it is, and teams got just so many players in all sports that are just playing year-round, and you don't do that, you don't compete very well.
Last year we had spoken about you and having the Tootsie Pops on the sideline. Have your colors changed because of the way that the season's gone? Have they been more stressful? How has that dictated the color?
Let me put it this way. If you remember the conversation, I would have told you that purple and red are those are the top-notch competitive Tootsie Pops. That's the one I need in big games. This year I have used almost primarily purple and red for every single game because it's been a challenge. So yes.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck tonight on senior night and for the rest of the season as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that you give time with me to sit down and talk about what team looks like, especially considering we're not exactly, lighting it up with wins and losses, or wins anyway.
But there's always next season.
Thanks again.
No problem. Tom, back to you.
That's it for Sports Weekly. The playoffs are right around the corner, so make sure you follow us on Twitter for updates on schedules, highlights, and results. We're going to leave you this week with Nicole Lento's 1,000th point. Congrats to her on an amazing accomplishment.